Today's stories include God of War showrunner spills some new details.
What's funny?
Hollow Knight Silksong is playable at Gamescom next month.
Is funny. That
It's
is funny.
real. Who's getting fucked for Fantasy Critic? I don't remember anymore. And a new video game website has launched from Skill Up. Hell yes. We'll have all this and more because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. What's up and welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily for Monday, July 28th, 2025. Of course, I am your host, Tim Geddes. I'm joined today by Blessing Adeoye. Junior Blessing, how are you?
I'm doing well. As far as I can tell, nobody is getting fucked on the Fantasy Critic. Nobody counterpicked Silksong. Parrot, however, it was his first pick.
Okay, so he might get some points.
He might get some points off this.
Which hopefully will fuck somebody else. You know what I mean? Because I'm in a really bad place. I guess no matter anyone's gains at this point just make me look even worse.
That is very true, yes. Anybody coming up on this Fantasy Critic means that you're only going to be further and further.
Oh, we want to talk about Fantasy Critic.
That was
really
wild,
quick.
actually, because we actually wanted to talk about Fantasy Critic
Let's
now.
talk about it with you.
Yeah,
right now.
Mike and
Bless.
I, we have a trade that
Big
we
deal.
need help from you.
Right
yeah,
now,
we have a trade.
the biggest trade of the year is about to go down, Bless.
Right
we
now.
need your approval. 2025. Trade is in progress.
Yeah,
You
we
ready
need
for
this to happen now.
today.
Today.
Okay, you feeling this? You ready for this?
You wanna hear it?
Snowbike Mike is willing to hand over what could be Game of the Year, Crimson Desert.
Yep.
For Rogers,
Yep.
what?
Ninja Gaiden 4.
Whoa.
Switch.
What game are y'all playing here?
No,
What is
we
this?
want to switch.
We just want it.
Yeah.
What are you guys
I
trying to
wanna
pull
become
here?
The Action Soulsborne guy of the company, and Rogers says Crimson Desert could be the game of a generation. And
Yeah,
I
is it
said,
an
Roger,
MMO?
take
Is
this.
it not? I have no idea,
don't know.
but I
We don't
want
know,
it.
Could be
Tim.
the game
I
of the
want it.
generation.
I want this game.
Is this a thing where like you see potential in like Rogers' list, so you're trying to boost them up, or is this a thing where Rogers conning you? Into
No.
Crimson
What do you-
Desert?
Nobody's no con
conning
going on
anybody.
here. What are you talking
This is
about?
a fair trade. These
Why
are
would he
two,
say that?
These are two heavy hitters back to back right here.
Like
All
you
right, hold on,
genuinely.
Bless. Let's have a real
We gotta
adult
have a real
conversation about this. What? I feel like this sounds like a fair trade.
This is a fair trade,
trade.
Tim. That's
Fair
a fair
trade.
trade, Tim.
What is the game? I don't understand what the game being played.
Prove this.
You want Crimson Desert.
No, I'm giving up Crimson Desert for Ninja Gaiden 4. This is a big trade.
You really want to give him Ninja Gaiden 4.
so-
And he wants Crimson Desert.
I watched some of the trailers. I don't believe in that game anymore. I don't want that game anymore.
Okay, so this is genuine. You guys genuinely want to make this
genuine. I
trade.
don't want that game anymore. I don't want it.
All right, approved.
Approved?
Approved.
That approved,
Approved.
everybody.
Approved, yeah.
Congratulations to both of you. They're both excited.
I don't understand the game that they're playing here because I'm open. I have Fantasy Critic opened up. Hold on, I'm looking at Snowbike Mike's team. Again, Snowbike Mike is trying to get Ninja Gaiden 4. Already, he has GTA 6, which has gotten him 0 points. He has Claire Obscura, which is great. Kingdom Come Deliverance, which has been great. Trails in the Sky, Hyper Light Breaker, which got counterpicked, not going to get him points. First Berserker Kazan, DK Bonanza, EA Sports College Football. So he has like a pretty good team. I can't tell. Am I missing something here?
No, I think they're legitimately just doing a trade. I mean, Roger, I believe him.
Yeah, I'm looking at Roger's
Watched
team
Ninja Gaiden
here.
was like, maybe this ain't it. Like the thing is, I think that we're talking about two unknown quantities in different ways.
Yeah.
Where there's why am I blanking on the name of the game that you just said?
Crimson Desert?
Crimson
or-
Desert. Yes, I was thinking Black Desert. Crimson Desert.
Fair enough.
Is that coming out this year? That's a big risk. If it does come out, is it going to be any good at all? Mike and Andy have seen it and they've heard that it's going to be the greatest thing of all time. But I don't know. I just don't know. It seems lofty, right? It seems unlikely that it'll hit expectations. But you know what else did? Expedition 33. So I'm like, hey,
I mean,
anything
sure.
can happen, but I'm not thinking it's
I
going
feel like
to.
there has to be something else behind the scenes because I feel like Roger's fucking himself here by giving up Ninja Gaiden 4 for Crimson. I understand unknown quantity looks like it could be revolutionary, all that stuff, but like one in the hand is worth two in the bush. Like you have Ninja Gaiden 4.
Yeah, but Ninja Gaiden, it could be a lot of things, man.
It's platinum.
There's
we've seen gameplay. I know we've seen gameplay of Crimson Desert, but that also seems like one of those things where it has a big scope, it has a big scale. They're touting the engine. Is that game and story and everything going to come together to make for a great Metacritic? I don't know.
I don't know either, but I feel like with Ninja Gaiden 4 specifically, it is to me a wild card where I think that it is. I think that it is way more likely to get a 6.5 than a 9.
Ninja Gaiden 4.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Coming from a Ninja Gaiden 4, coming from Platinum, you think it's more likely to get a 6.5 than a 9?
I think not a 6.5. Did I say 6.5?
I think you said 6.5.
You know what? I stand by it.
You stand by it? You okay?
Then a 9, yeah.
No way.
I feel
I
it's
expect
most
great
likely
things
just
from
to
this
get
game.
like a 7, 5, or 8. That's what's most likely. Which is getting points.
Like my prediction would be at least an 8. I would hope for like even getting 9s from this thing.
If this thing got 9s, that'd be a miracle.
I don't.
I think at this time.
Platinum is a really, really weird,
And
inconsistent
Ninja
company.
Gaiden's a really weird, inconsistent franchise.
But Ninja Gaiden under Platinum hits when they need to hit.
yeah,
Platinum misses when it's like, all right, we got some licensed bullshit, or we're trying to make a Babylon's Fall, or we're like, you can tell when Platinum's about to fucking slip on a banana peel.
Mm-hmm.
But when Platinum locks in, they make a Nier Automata. They make a Bayonetta 3.
you're right, man. And I'm hopeful.
This has to be the Ninja Gaiden has to be one of those.
I just don't expect that.
Really?
I'm hopeful, but I don't expect it.
Wow.
We got to dive deeper with
I
Roger.
feel like Raj got conned because I'm looking at Roger's thing here, right? He has Ghost of the Yote, Metroid Prime. Those two alone don't fuck up Roger's fucking up the bag. I feel like I should go talk to him.
I don't know, man. The deal's done. We can't undeal a deal. You know what
This
I mean?
feels like when you see your son hanging out with the wrong crowd and you get worried that he's going to start smoking cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about Roger right now, where I feel like he allowed Mike to influence him in the wrong way. You're giving up Ninja Gaiden 4 for Crimson Desert. You think what are the chances Crimson Desert has a higher Metacritic than Ninja Gaiden 4?
I mean, it's a gamble, but
It's a big gamble.
it's a big gamble. It is. It's not a bet I would make, Les. Let me tell you that. If I had to choose one of these to be on my list, I'd go Ninja Gaiden. Having said that, that's more because I don't think Black Myth comes out this year. Or not. I don't care about this
Crimson
game.
Desert.
Crimson Desert. Jesus Christ.
I love you just call it.
I'm never gonna find some color in a word. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
But my favorite color, bless, is blue.
Yeah.
You know, and I
Why's
want
that?
to just put blue everywhere, just like my boy Astrobot does.
Whoa.
The vinyl from Fangamer finally came. I bought this, by the way. No one gave me this shit. If you want to put me on a list to give me video game vinyls, I would really appreciate it. But look at that. Look at
that.
like the blue.
Yeah, I love like the glare
It's
that's on
so
their eyes.
sick, man. Love this custom art. Obviously, a ton of PlayStation characters all over it. There's some premium stuff.
That's really cool. Yeah, can I hold that?
Oh yeah,
Oh my god. Yeah, they all. Well, you got Ratchet on here. You got Ellie. You got Kratos.
the whole squad.
Yeah. The art is fucking beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway, big fan. This arrived yesterday, and I looked at it.
shit.
I'm like, I gotta bring it on Games Daily because this thing is fire looking.
Yeah. This is incredible.
Love it. Good job, everybody. Shout out to Fangamer, I guess. Put me on a list.
Put them on a list.
Put me on a list. But this is Kind of Funny Games Daily, everybody. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy video game news that you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, please support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon, YouTube, and now Spotify and Apple Podcasts. For a chance to be part of this show, submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube Super Chats as we go. CJ Splitson writes in and says, Bless, do you have thoughts on Alfredo 2?
I've not gotten to listen to it yet. No, I'll get
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Every time I see it pop up, every single time,
You
I
think
think
of-
my friend's getting the sequel.
You're like, oh, they're making
And I'm
another
like,
one
I'm
of these
pretty sure
guys?
the sequel has to be better than the first one. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
there's
I
no
love the
way.
first one, but
There's
like,
no-
there's room for improvement.
God,
you
that's
know?
the Freddie Gibbs album, right? I'm not listening to much Freddie Gibbs, but like the Freddie Gibbs songs that I have listened to seems pretty good. The Freddie Gibbs guy seems like he has a future ahead of him.
I only know him as a feature guy.
Yeah.
He like pops up like once every like 10 albums I listen to. He's a feature on someone's shit, you know?
Yeah, I also know him because for like a while there, the internet was calling him Spready Gibbs, and I'll leave it at that. Don't ask questions. Move
Jiminy
on.
Crickets. Scatho says, birthday tax. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
After a year and a half of searching, I got a job at an edit house, working towards my dream job. You guys were there every step of the way. Thanks. Hell yeah. Congrats. That's awesome.
I love
Actually, working as an editor is like cool as hell.
Oh yeah.
Like working with everybody, collabing, getting it all done. Awesome stuff. Congrats for that. That is rad. A little housekeeping for you. We're an 11-person business all about live talk shows. Today, after Games Daily, you'll get Gamescast. That is a Cronos The New Dawn preview.
Oh,
Very cool.
Really exciting.
After Gamescast will be the Kind of Funny podcast. That should be a fun one. Then the stream is an AMA with Mike. That's right. Ask Mike anything while he tries to build watermelons in Suika Game.
You know
What's
about
this
that?
boy doing?
You know about Suika Game?
I don't know anything about any of these words.
You know what? Fair enough. He's just doing Mike things.
Yeah.
You know? Suika Game, a game that was in vogue 12 months ago.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was the game that was very popular for a week,
Mhm.
where you would just like drop watermelons in a thing, and they would, I think, combine. You're trying to make them big.
All right, well, watch Mike make watermelons big, and if you have any questions for him, now's the time, everybody, later today. If you're a Kind of Funny member, today's Gregway is 18 minutes of great time about getting his ass beat by Pokemon Violet. Fucking good. dude.
I saw.
What are you talking about? Getting your ass beat by Pokemon.
That's like the meme of like games journalist struggles at DK Bonanza, but Greg makes it real.
Fucking
Get it
loser
together.
behavior. Ty Wilkins VO says, I'll say it. Platinum isn't that great, and I personally feel their track record with picking up other IPs is mixed at best.
Be like licensed IPs though.
But the reality is, like, I feel like this statement is more accurate than not.
I get Ninja Gaiden is technically licensed by them, right? But like, it's different. It's not
when they
Avatar.
hit, they fucking hit. I think that's the fairest thing you can say.
Yes.
But you can't be like, oh, Platinum, it's going to be great.
Yes, but like, I don't know. It's like they have two settings. All right, either they make a fucking 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, or they make a fucking 5 out of 10.
But when you now, like, that used to be a thing of like, okay, you can say that. When they put out as many 5 out of 10s as they have, and as many 9 out of 10s, it's split.
Like when I'm looking at their history, right? The last game, I actually never played this Bayonetta Origins Cerise and the Lost Demon game.
People like that one.
People like that one. Yeah, Bayonetta 3, people loved it. Babylon's Fall, worst game of the year. Astral Chain, people loved it. Actually, that is one of their rare like 8 out of 10 games. Nier Automata, people fucking loved it. The Team NT game, I don't know much about
Absolute garbage.
Absolute garbage.
Korra,
bad. Transformers Devastation, fantastic. Bayonetta 2, 10 out of 10 from GameSpot.
Yeah, you just never know.
They're just weird. They're just a weird company.
They're weird, man. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, who I hung out with at Comic-Con. That was fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Omega Buster and Delaney the Psalm Twining. Today we're brought to you by Mood Factor and the Kind of Funny Survey. But we'll tell you all about that later. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 6 stories today.
Baker's dozen.
Oh, I meant to ask you this at the top of the show. Over under on there being a Nintendo Direct this week.
It has to happen.
It has to happen, right?
If it doesn't happen, the entire Nintendo ecosystem of content creators will be in shambles.
Oh no, I feel that.
Dude, there is too much writing on this right now of too many people that know things saying it's happening.
Yeah.
It has to be happening.
Well, I'm excited.
And also that leaked Mario 40th anniversary thing. Do you see this?
No, I didn't see this.
There was a website image of like a bunch of different like events that Nintendo had, and one of the thumbnails was debuting a new 40th anniversary Mario logo.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So it's
I
like,
love that.
okay, where there's smokes, everybody. Where there's smokes.
Fair enough.
I'm fucking excited.
What days do we usually get directs? It's Wednesdays or Thursdays, right? Or is it one of those specifically?
I feel like it's Tuesdays or Thursdays, but
Oh.
like, I feel like you can't.
I'm just trying to plan.
patterns.
I'm trying to plan my week.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I'm trying to
that's
think
the
about like what
biggest
can
thing.
we move. But all right, we'll get there when we get there.
I want to direct, man. I want to know what's next. Like I know we already know a couple things, but I'm like, where's Kirby Air Riders? I just need to know.
Oh, yeah.
the little
That's
things.
the thing, is,
Metroid
like-
Prime to me is actually the big one of like,
When is this gonna
give
land?
me the dates. You know?
Yeah.
And it was rated in Korea.
Yeah.
It's imminent, baby. It's happening, man. Because like, I love right now. I had a great time with Mario World for a month.
Mm-hmm.
Then here I am with Donkey Kong, having a fantastic time. Still grinding out that 100%.
Grinding
Where
it
you
out.
at?
I've beaten the game.
Yeah.
I gave my review last week.
Mhm.
I gave it a
I
10.
listened to it, by the way,
Thank you.
on the flight. Loved it.
Hell
Great,
yeah.
great energy.
I can't wait to talk
Gave me
to
chills
you.
hearing you give it the final score. It was
Fuck
really
yeah.
good.
I can't wait to talk to you during a spoiler cast and
Yeah.
Bear once he finishes it. Because like that's gonna be where the real conversation comes in. But I've not played too much after just because I've been busy.
Yeah.
But like it's the kind of game that I do want to play more in the post game. Like I don't know if I'm gonna 100% it,
Yeah.
but I'm not saying I'm not.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great place to be.
Yeah.
Great place to be, bless. Story number 1. We got new details on Amazon's God of War TV show. This comes from Victoria Phillips Kennedy at Eurogamer. The showrunner behind Amazon's live-action God of War series has shared some new details about what we can expect from Kratos and co. on the show's release. Speaking with Collider at Comic-Con, series showrunner and former Battlestar Galactica executive producer Ronald D. Moore confirmed Amazon's God of War adaptation will remain largely faithful to Sony Santa Monica's 2018 game, though it won't be a frame-by-frame remake. Quote, this world and this universe are really rich, and it's interesting, and it's really fun to adapt. It's an adaptation, so it's an adaptation/interpretation as you go into live action, and it's been really fun to sort of go, wow, there's a lot here we can play with. Okay, we want to keep the story, we want to keep the characters and the spirit of it. There's all the stuff that you can keep turning to for inspiration. It's been very interesting. The showrunner also added the game director Cory Barlog's actively involved in the project, with Moore calling Barlog, who also helmed 2022's God of War sequel Ragnarok, a genius. Quote, I've had several meetings with Cory, and you ask Cory, well, tell me about the backstory of this or how this works, and he can just talk because he holds it all in his head. And I usually pride myself about, as a showrunner, I can hold this season in my head. I know what this 10 episodes are, and I can tell you about them. Cory can tell you the whole thing in every possible way, all the mythology, how it connects one to the other, what the puzzles were, why they did this, and what the artifact did. It's really impressive. I mean, it's like a gigantic novel, even bigger than the Outlander novels, which is a lot to digest. And then in a separate interview with IGN, Moore hinted that some of Kratos' previous escapades prior to Sony Santa Monica's God of War reboot may also make an appearance. You'll have to wait and see, he teased. At the present time, those 10 episodes of Moore's God of War adaptation are still in the scripts phase. Filming may begin in 2026 at the earliest. A second season has already been greenlit at Amazon.
Man, I think I come out of this article with more questions than answers, because there are quite a few parts of this that I want to dig into. I want to start off with 10 episodes. Can you cover God of War 2018 in 10 episodes?
Well, let me tell you this. You can't in 6. And you can't in 8.
You know what? Fair.
So I'm going to take this as a fucking major win. Okay,
You know what?
Bless?
That's fair. No, and this isn't even like a complaint. I'm not even like, because I think I agree with you, right? Of like, I think it comes down to how much are you digging into these characters in each of these episodes, right? Like, I'm really fascinated by the kind of tone, the kind of like vibe you can portray in an episodic like Amazon thing, right? Because like I almost get more of the vibes of like God of War 2018 being a film to me, at least in the way that I think about it. Maybe it's the one shot aspect of it.
Oh, that's a good point.
Maybe it's like this more cinematic feel of God of War 2018, but like it strikes me more as movie than TV, like a TV show. Now, there's a lot to cover, so I understand why you lean TV show. And I think there's something to the cast and the characters and all these things kind of lending themselves to TV show, because like there's just a lot more going on.
Yeah.
But then I think about like, how do you chop up the 10 episodes? What are the natural arcs? Like Last of Us, I can see it a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, because it's very narrative driven, whereas I feel like God of War is, obviously there's an incredible narrative, but I do feel like a lot of the side stuff kind of is what heats that game up, like really like makes the world of God of War to me is, I think, stronger than the actual plot of God of War. Whereas I feel like Last of Us, like the plot is really a standout and the characters that like kind of make it up.
That's
so
fair.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I struggle to have the most faith in this, mainly because of how epic God of War is and how action focused it is and larger than life. Some of the, even in the Santa Monica version of the game, some of the fights can be, and just the scale of the mountain and getting all that stuff right is going to be such a huge challenge. The makeup is going to be a huge challenge. Like all of that stuff I feel are just uphill battles for general audiences and more so gaming audiences to look at and not critique every single little thing they get wrong. Having said that, everything being said in this interview sounds like the people really care. It's from Battlestar Galactica. We're talking about renowned creators here working together, caring about each other's visions, adapting what makes sense, and changing what should change for the medium. All this is good news, and Amazon I'd have zero faith in when it comes to TV shows, but Fallout kicked a lot of ass.
Yeah.
So different type of story though, right? Like that was a, let's not adapt. Let's just tell a story in the world. And overall, I feel like it had less pressure on it because it didn't need to get all these giant things right. It just had to get a lot of the little things right. And it did. Whereas with God of War, we look at it, it's like it has to get so much right as the bare minimum of us even being open to it being a entertaining show.
Yeah, I think that's the tough thing with me with this show is I think the Fallout comparison is the most apt for how I feel about it, where I fucking love the Fallout TV show because it was telling its own story within a universe that already exists. And it was more about exploring the interesting things in that universe as opposed to retelling us a story that we already know, right? Last was the TV show. I have like a love / little bit complicated relationship with, because I think that first season is pretty phenomenal. I think the second season is a lot more shaky to me. And I think part of that is when you are retelling a story bar for bar, I think the things about what makes a video game story inherently a video game story can get in the way of what makes a TV story more natural for TV. And so like when I look at Ellie and Abby and like Joel and like their portrayal in season 2, so much of what uplifts those portrayals for me in the video game is playing the video game and having those characters sit with me and having like playing as Ellie and just mowing down like so many of the people that I meet in Seattle, right? And like kind of seeing Ellie in that form in what is inherently, I think, a video game presentation of her. I think that gets tough when you're talking about TV, right? And when you're talking about, hey, we're making this as faithful as possible to the source material. I think God of War is going to have maybe a similar thing. And like, I think you can make a good God of War TV show by making it faithful to the 2018 video game, because I think the narrative stuff that is there is phenomenal, right? Like, I think that stuff is already cinematic in a way where, yeah, you can retell me that story bar for bar and it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
But I'm just not as excited for it. Like, I would be more excited if this was like, no, we're telling the Greek story of God of War. Because then I'm like, oh shit, all right, I haven't been here in a while. Like, I want to see like how you take this, like something from long ago, and recontextualize it for today, or like, you know, reintroduce me to that story today. Like, I would be more excited about that, or some kind of like side story within the world, within like God of War's version of Norse mythology. I think retelling God of War 2018, it's going to be good. Like, it's going to, at least I would hope it'll be good. It's going to come down to direction, budget, so many things, right? But like, I don't think that inherently is going to make it bad. But I'm just not like, I don't know. I'm not on the edge of my seat for it.
Yeah, I'm not either. Abe Froman in the chat was saying Tim's acting like Rings of Power and Wheel of Time weren't a thing. I'm very well aware giant budget shows on Amazon can exist, and that's good. I think that's a good sign in the sense that like there could be the money here.
Yeah.
But like, let's just be real here. Like, the reception to both of those shows was not rave. I know season 2 apparently of Rings of Power people liked a lot more, but like those were, all things considered, letdowns.
Yeah.
And when you look at Amazon, I'm a huge fan of most streaming services. Like, and I'm definitely a defender of a lot of them in ways most people aren't. Like, obviously, The Boys, one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah.
And that's Amazon, baby. And Invincible. But even Invincible, we look at it and it's just like, there's some criticisms with the animation and all of that. But
Sure, yeah.
I think that's the choice to be able to actually, over time, tell the full story. So I'm like, I'm down for that. I think God of War needs the budget of a Rings of Power, which is insane. But it also needs the passion and interest from the creators to like be able to translate the story in a way that makes sense. I'm so with you where I'm not on the edge of my seat for this, because if I wanted the story again, for God of War in particular, I'd rather just replay the game.
Yeah.
Because I love the story of God of War, but in the medium it's in, I feel very differently about Last of Us. Last of Us, I'm so happy I could share that story with Gia. She's never going to play the game.
Yeah.
You know? Sharing this story is good. Sharing the story of God of War with her, I'm excited about, but I'm not like, oh my God, I can't wait for 2029 when this finally comes out and is actually a 5-episode season split into 4 parts.
God,
You know?
please don't speak that into existence. I am excited about like, or excited is the wrong word. I'm very curious about how Moore hinted at like Kratos' previous escapades prior to the God of War reboot, right? Like diving into the Greek mythology stuff. Because even in the 2018 game, there was a little bit of that, right? Like, I guess no spoilers, but like they hit at Kratos' past, but they never really dive into it that deeply. I wonder if this is hey, out of the 10 episodes, one of the episodes is going to be a full retelling of, maybe not full retelling, but we're going to dive into the Greek mythology type stuff.
I think, and that is very cool.
And that's compelling.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see what that looks like.
Yeah, I hope it's good. I guess that's my takeaway is I hope it's good. And I think that reading the story and just knowing with where we're at with video game adaptations, it's not like I'm like, oh man, there's no chance this is good. And that would have been the story a couple years ago, hearing about this. Having said that, it is a little disheartening that we've been talking about this God of War TV show for years now at this desk. And now we're at like, we're in scripting phase and, you know, it's going to be a while. But we keep hearing about these things and then they eventually do come out. And I would say there's a higher chance than not that it's good. Yeah. And that doesn't mean it can't be bad, but there's a higher chance than not that it's good.
I want to do a Gamescast. I don't know if it's a draft. It probably is a draft.
Okay.
I want to do a draft of upcoming video game adaptations.
All right.
Because there are so many. And I'm curious on what people are most excited for. Because I'm
excited for something 3 days away.
Wait, no, is Twisted Metal that
Twisted Metal
soon?
Season 2's 3 days
No
away,
way,
baby.
3 days
We're
away.
gonna see my boy fucking Axel taking those gunshots to the chest. I can't fucking wait. I was at Comic-Con. There was a
Wow.
bumper car activation. Anthony Mackie was there screaming.
They gotta
Samoa Joe.
They gotta market that better.
It's coming out, baby.
How do I
I'm
not
the
know?
cock.
I read the news. I read video game news every single day.
I'm legitimately excited, man. I'm
Hell
legitimate.
yeah.
It's
But
fucking
like, if you're to name a top 3 upcoming video game adaptations,
yeah. Mario movie 2, very
Fair.
high on my list. Sonic 4, very high on my list.
you know what? Yeah, these are Tim answers. I mean, Fallout the next season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, dude, we're in a good spot. Like,
Yeah.
there are things that I'm like, I'm excited for the next one because they've proven that I like the one before. I'm very interested in Elden Ring.
Oh, Elden Ring, yeah. The more you think about it, the more I'm like, fuck, that's
Death
actually-
Stranding. I'm super interested in that.
Death Stranding's
That's
super
an example of me.
interested in.
I'm like, I want to watch that. I don't want to play it.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a
So-
good point. I like that. I like that. Horizon, I'm not necessarily excited about, but I'm
Yeah.
fascinated. I am the most morbidly curious about Horizon. The TV show that, is it now a movie?
Who knows, dude?
Whatever that adaptation ends up being, I gotta see that shit.
He's got to see it, man. You know, before we get to story number 2, I want to tell you a word from our sponsors. This episode's brought to you by Mood. Let me tell you about the online cannabis company that's revolutionizing how we deal with life's challenges. From sleepless nights to stress-filled days, Mood.com has created an entire line of functional gummies that target specific health concerns with 100% federally legal THC blends. They'll deliver them discreetly right to your doorstep, and you can get 20% off your first order at Mood.com with promo code KINDAFUNNY. I've been having a great time trying out their different gummies and am loving how each one feels. And each one is crafted using federally legal cannabis grown on small, family-owned American farms. No pesticides, no BS, and they can ship to most states in the US. Best of all, not only does Mood stand behind everything with an industry-leading 100-day satisfaction guarantee, but as I mentioned, listeners get 20% off their first order with code KINDAFUNNY. So head to Mood.com, browse their amazing selection of functional gummies, and find the perfect gummy for whatever you are dealing with. And remember to use promo code KINDAFUNNY at checkout to save 20% on your first order. That's Mood.com, MOOD.com, promo code KINDAFUNNY. This episode's brought to you by Factor. Summer is here, baby. That means more sun, more light, but it should not mean more hours inside cooking. That's where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. Multiple people here at Kinda Funny have been loving their experience with Factor, and you can too. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day, sun up to sundown. With nutritious breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts, Factor has your whole day covered. Enjoy more this summer. Get Factor if you want all the flavor and none of the fuss. Get started at factormeals.com/kindafunny50 off and use code kindafunny50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code kindafunny50 off at factormeals.com/kindafunny50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. They're doing the tournament, Bless. Like, it's actually the Twisted Metal tournament.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean?
I'm happy for you,
It's
man.
fucking
You're
happening,
the only
dude.
person I know
It's
who's even
fucking
watching the show. I've not seen anybody else talk about this.
Yeah, well, everyone that has,
Yeah.
every single person I know that finished season 1 was like, I had a great time with that show.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Good
it
for
was
them.
a great time. We lost the screen, Kev. I don't know if we
Yeah,
lost
we-
the feed.
I'm swapping out the ad. Remember?
Okay,
Okay.
gotcha, cool. One of the greatest sins ever committed in video game history, and there's been a lot of them. So I guess the greatest sins that don't involve Randy Pitchford. But
Yeah.
besides that,
Thank you for
was
clarifying.
why did they have that scene for the Game Awards for Twisted Metal?
Yeah.
The Cisco Thong song, weird bar
Yeah.
fight, whatever.
Because that turned everybody off on the show.
Legitimately,
Immediately.
the worst 30 seconds of that show. I'm not saying that there aren't other 30 seconds that are like that, because
Yeah.
there are. But like overall, we have way better vibes than that. That was not the thing to use. Not the thing to show.
It's so, because that's Peacock, right?
Yeah.
It's such a peculiar. So it's in the same way that like me and you, we love Mythic Quest.
Oh,
and
yeah.
everybody that we show Mythic Quest to loves Mythic Quest.
Real talk, Bless.
Yeah.
I put them on the same level. Mythic Quest, I think, is a overall better show. But real talk, in terms of like how good a season of the show is,
Yeah.
Twisted Metal season 1, that good.
which is amazing. But also, like, my thing is, like, we package these shows in ways that, like, people are never gonna watch them.
Never.
You know how hard it is to tell somebody to get Apple TV Plus to watch a sitcom about a video game studio?
Oh no,
It's really tough.
insane.
Do you know how tough it is to tell people to get Peacock to watch Twisted Metal, the TV
Everyone
show?
has Peacock. Everyone's watching all the Real Housewives on Bravo. It's the only way.
Oh, that's a good point.
Next Gen NYC, baby. Story number 2.
I watch Peacock for wrestling pay-per-views.
Yeah, that too. That too. Hollow Knight Silksong will be playable at Gamescom. Xbox confirms. This comes from Jordan Middler at VGC. Silksong will be playable at Gamescom. Microsoft and developer Team Cherry have announced. Microsoft's announced its plans for the forthcoming trade show, including the news that the long-awaited Hollow Knight Silksong will be playable publicly. Wow.
Insane.
The game, which still doesn't have a firm release date, will be playable at the Xbox booth on both PC and ROG Xbox Ally X. That's cool. People can be able to get their hands on the system.
Yeah.
Pretty sick. Microsoft also confirmed it will host demos for several third-party titles, including Borderlands 4, Onimusha, Way of the Sword,
Come
baby.
on.
People are getting to play that thing?
Come on.
That's awesome.
When's that? They announced that for 2026?
2026, yeah. So
And you
that's
believe
cool.
it?
100%.
Hell yeah.
Dude, Capcom don't miss,
I mean, yeah.
right?
It's
Like
it's the fact that like when they announced it at Game Awards, it didn't feel not that it didn't feel like it wasn't coming out, but like when you say a new Onimusha is coming, it's like, wow, that's big.
Yeah.
You're telling me it's around the corner? That's crazy.
That's the thing is Capcom, I mean, please somebody, like, let me know where I'm wrong here. I feel like maybe Monster Hunter World got delayed a little bit, and didn't Wild get delayed a little bit, but we're talking about like a month or so, right?
Yeah.
Besides that, Capcom shoots their shot and sticks to it.
Oh yeah, we
Like,
tell you Kunutsigami is coming out. Path of the Goddess, it's
coming,
out.
baby. EA Sports FC 26, Anemo. There were no Ghosts of the Grand, Power Wash Simulator 2, Final Fantasy 7 Remake Intergrade. Oh, on Xbox.
Yes, Xbox.
I was like, why?
Like, why are we still doing this?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 16, Invincible Versus, that's
Hell
cool.
yeah.
Super Meat Boy 3D, that's
Hell
cool.
yeah.
Chronos the New Dawn, which we're about to do a preview of on Gamescast coming up next, and Mistfall Hunter. Pretty sick.
Pretty sick. This is, you know what this strikes me as? Like, you know how you have a homie that's like, yeah, man, I've been talking to this girl. She goes to a different school. Like, you know, but and it's like, all right, we kind of believe you. And then they show up together at prom and you're like, oh,
What?
shit, she exists. You know, that's how I feel about the ROG Ally X and Hollow Knight Silksong, where like, they were like, oh man, yeah, and it'll launch with Silksong and all this stuff. And I was like, y'all just connecting games together. Like, did you talk to the dev? Like,
Yeah.
what's the word here?
Yeah.
What's the relationship here?
You're nailing it, dude.
Now you go to Gamescom, you pick up that ROG Xbox Ally X, fucking Hollow Knight Silksong's playable
Dude,
on that bitch.
that's actually a really, really good connection there of the two being at Gamescom. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that even further and say, obviously, this isn't a prediction.
Uh-huh.
I think we are going to do a predictions episode. Maybe I'll make it there if I get it before someone else does, just to piss off Barrett. We all know that Opening Night Live is the least of the Keighley shows.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You should not expect anything big there whatsoever. Every time we ever think anything of consequence is going to be shown, we're fucking idiots and we deserve to be slapped.
Correct.
Hollow Knight Silksong's release date will be announced at Gamescom.
I like this guy.
Can you imagine forever changing the hierarchy of power of Opening Night Live? We'll never be able to say nothing of consequence was announced if they fucking do it. And hey, if it's playable here, maybe that's the time.
I understand why you say all of this. I do not believe it, but I understand everything you say makes sense. You're a crazy man.
I'm a crazy man. I'm a crazy man.
That's exciting. Good for those who are going to Gamescom that are really excited for Hollow Knight Silksong.
And those other games too. That sounds like a great lineup from Xbox.
It's a fantastic
And
lineup.
getting your hands on some new hardware. Like
Super Meat Boy
this sounds
3D,
like an
Invincible
awesome
Versus.
gaming convention lineup for a publisher to have.
1000%.
There's been a ton of times you go to a PAX and Nintendo's there and it's like, play fucking Triforce Heroes, and people are like, I don't want to. Don't make me do this.
Yeah. I mean, here, God, now I'm thinking more about the Silksong thing. And I'm like, where else are you going to announce it? You could announce it at the Nintendo Direct happening later this week. That needs to be announced. Otherwise, I'm going to go crazy. Then you have Gamescom. Then you have, like, what, a PAX thing? Like, no, like, maybe, but no, like, there's not really that many places to announce Hollow Knight Silksong, unless, as a developer, you just want to announce it on your Twitter, which you could.
I think is as likely as anywhere.
Yes.
Hollow Knight Silksong is the rare example because it is such an indie thing that has ties to, at this point, everybody, and everybody wants some of that sweet, sweet little bug.
Yep.
You can do whatever the hell you want. I wouldn't be surprised if it showed up anywhere, honestly.
What if it's out now? What if it's
That'd
hey,
be such a
surprise,
bad
guys,
idea.
play it right now?
Don't do that for this game.
No?
No. This game deserves so much more than that.
Fair enough.
It doesn't need that. That'll get in the way.
Yeah.
Story number 3. As video game media struggles, star YouTuber launches new outlet. This comes from Jason Schrier at Bloomberg. I just want to stop real quick and say, shout out to Jason Schrier.
Yeah.
Showing that much love to Skill Up.
Yep.
The fucking homie. And he deserves it. But yeah, he is a star YouTuber.
Oh, for sure.
Fuck
He's a
yeah.
star YouTuber. Yeah.
Love that. Ralph. Oh my God, I've never seen his last name. I just call him
Dude,
Ralph.
reading the story was the first time I saw his last name too. Pane Bianco?
Panabianco has a YouTube channel where he reviews video games, hosts a podcast, and talks about industry news under the moniker SkillUp. He's built an audience of more than 1 million subscribers by positioning himself as an honest, thoughtful critic who isn't quite as brazenly inflammatory as many of his peers. Now he's taken an unexpected next step, a text-driven media website. Last week, Ralph revealed This Week in Video Games, a website that will report news, review games, and run features about the industry. It launches at a time when the media business is struggling and other gaming sites have faced operational challenges, including former giants like Kotaku and Polygon. A successful YouTuber launching a text website might seem like a backward step, as if Netflix suddenly announced it was returning to DVDs. But Ralph believes there are people out there hungry for the written word and that he's in a unique position to help serve the need. Quote, I looked around at the modern landscape and thought, well, all of this isn't going in the right direction. I definitely believe there were still some sites that were doing great work, and that would have a good future. But I think the overall dynamics of that business model just looked very precarious. Rather than selling advertisements, This Week in Video Games will generate revenue solely through subscriptions, locking most of its original stories behind a paywall. And rather than scale up to compete with established outlets, the site will stay small, building a team of between 5 and 8 people in the coming months. Perhaps most importantly, it will build off Ralph's existing brand. The name is based on one of his shows to promote the outlet and cultivate an audience base that might not have otherwise cared about another gaming news website.
I've linked it as a required reading. We'll have that in the description of the video. The Jason Schrier interview is much longer. It's a much longer article. That's part of his newsletter that you can check out. I also included here a tweet from Jason Schrier because I thought this was a really fun tidbit. It's actually a Blue Sky post, not a tweet. One of the biggest problems in the video game media space is the lack of opportunities for new writers, which Ralph is hoping to help fix. His site's first hire, Maddie Agne, graduated college in 2023, which is so rare to hear. It's so funny because, like, oftentimes I feel like the youngest class of like people who are covering video games, at least in like, I know I'm in the YouTube space, right? But also like, I think we have almost more of a, not journalistic, but
games media
sort of slant to us. And I'm 31 years old. I should not be the new class, right?
Yeah,
there should be people
straight
way
up.
younger than me. And so to have somebody who graduated college in 2023, who's getting to do video game coverage, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it really is. And obviously we know Ralph pretty well, and he is an awesome guy with an awesome team, and he cares about video games and he cares about the media space. And this is, I think, a amazing step towards putting his money where his mouth is, literally, with this. This is going to be an uphill battle for him. I do not think this is going to be the most popular business model in the world, but I think it's going to speak loudly to the people that care. And I'm sure that there's a ton of people listening to this show that miss actual written word talking about video games from a thoughtful perspective, because we have been, I want to say quickly running out of places that allow for that. I think that IGN in the last 10 years since we've been there has really improved, in my opinion, in terms of allowing space for a lot more op-eds and allowing people like Rebecca Valentine to kind of come in with a perspective that kind of shapes the voice of the site.
Yeah.
And besides that, though, it's like, there's a couple reviewers at GameSpot that anything they put out, I'm going to read their review because I'm a fan of their work. But with what's happening with Kotaku and Polygon and others that used to be kind of the homes of that type of story, just turning into AI bullshit for the most part. And like, I'm here for all the people that we know that work there, and even the people we don't know that work at those places. But from all word, they're not in a good spot right now.
Yeah.
Because of the people above them making bad decisions. If Ralph's making the decisions, I have faith in this.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I think we can say that because, we personally know Ralph. And then also, if you're somebody who watches his videos, if you're somebody who's like faithful to the Skill Up YouTube channel, like very thoughtful, very smart dude when it comes to video games coverage and how to talk about video games and how to review video games. And like, you could tell that he really does have a passion for this stuff. And so I absolutely love this. And even like in talking to him about this before, right? Like one of the things he mentioned, and he mentions this in his video where he announces it too, that like if 1% of the people that tune into his videos support this, then they're golden for like what they're trying to aim for. And I think that's a reasonable goal, right? And I think that's something that
It's a sustainable business model. Wow.
Yeah, like if
Crazy.
if you're able to build the synergy, that's why I really like that it's called This Week in Video Games, because This Week in Video Games is the name of his weekly video series where he dives into video game news. Guess what? Now he can link a editorial website to that, knowing that hundreds of thousands of people tune into that every single week. If you can get 1% of those people to click over and support the outlet that is connected to this, hey, like we did something here. And so I absolutely love this. And like to your point about op-eds and all this stuff, right? Like 1000% agree. And I would even extend that to any sort of like written word in video games media, right? Whether it be interviews, whether it be straight up news articles. That's why I love VGC, because
VGC, man.
They do like reviews and previews and stuff, right? But their thing is like, yo, we're just writing news stories.
Yeah.
And I go to
Gold
them every
standard.
day. And they are the golden standard for that shit. And we need people to be the golden standard for that shit. And so yeah, This Week in Video Games, I got faith in. I think Ralph's doing a great thing here. And yeah, I want to see them, form and grow and like be a website that is a staple in this thing, because we need more of those.
Yeah.
And I hope to see more people be able to pour the support they're able to, not just into This Week in Video Games, but into video games media, period, if you want to see the stuff stick around.
Yeah, totally. And their name's gone in the chat, but I saw somebody say, like, I don't know, I feel like people already don't have enough money to spend on video games. Why would they spend it on people doing video game news? I think that, and I can say this from personal experience too, like enjoying video game media and enjoying video games are separate experiences. Like there's overlaps, but it's like it's a form of entertainment to watch videos or to read magazines or read articles. Like I love that stuff and I'm passionate about that, and I love to support that type of thing. I'm still waiting for my the issue of Game Informer. Like I'm very excited that now that they're back and independent or whatever they are. They're back. They
Independently operating.
They're their first
under an owner
physical magazine coming out. Like I'm so excited to get it in the mail. Like that's cool to me, and I'm going to read it and enjoy it because that is something. It is a product that I actually want to spend my time with and engaging with. Like to me, it is just as valuable as a video game itself. But
and I think it's worth noting too that like, Phillips not demanding your money, right? Like This Week in Video Games is not demanding your money. You can go over to thisweekinvideogames.com and there are articles there that are there for free. Now, if you want to see like exclusive stuff, then you have to pay, but they're not asking everybody to pay, right? They're not trying to do GTA numbers out here as far as what they're asking for. For like video games to be successful, oftentimes they have to sell millions of units. They're not trying to aim for that. They're trying to aim for a dedicated home audience that can help sustain this website. They're not trying to make a gigantic profit off of this. They're just trying to make a home for more video game coverage. And I don't see anything wrong you can say about that.
Yeah. Sphinx Jr. says, I think I spend more on Kind of Funny than I do on games. First off, thank you so much for that. Second off, I believe it. And I hope that we're providing the value for it in a way that, you supporting us allows us to provide value for free to thousands of others. And I think that is kind of the thing of like, if you do have the means to support this thing that you love, it means more people get to love it. And so, that 1% thing is incredibly important. Good luck to Ralph and the team. I think that they're going to crush it for what their goals are. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
Defining success in a realistic way is the most important way to run a business. So
for sure.
You already get it, Ralph. And I already knew you knew that because you're a very smart guy. Story number 4. A new Friday the 13th sequel game is in the works. This comes from Chris Scullion at VGC. Speaking of VGC. A new video game based on Friday the 13th is in the works. It's been revealed. During a Comic-Con panel based on all things Friday the 13th, it was announced that a sequel game is being made. The reveal was made by Robert Barsimian, Executive Vice President at Horror Inc., the company which currently handles the Friday the 13th IP under a label called Jason Universe. During the panel, Barsimian acknowledged the elephant in the room, which was the fact there hasn't been a new Friday the 13th movie since a reboot 16 years ago that I enjoyed quite a bit.
Yeah?
A Michael Bay produced classic.
Oh.
And it was actually pretty good, though. I can tell you that a new sequel movie and a new sequel game are at the top of our list, Barsimian confirmed, as reported by comicbook.com. It's where most of our energy is going right now, and I can tell you we're finally in a position to deliver on that. While we're not officially announcing with our partners today, both are coming. They're both in the works. Gamescom? That seems like... Doesn't that seem like a Gamescom announcement?
I mean, yes, but not this Gamescom. I think this is far out.
Or maybe, but also it's a Friday the 13th announcement with a partner. I don't know that's the biggest thing.
True, yeah. But I get the vibe that, like, he only talked about
hey, we're doing this.
Yeah, like, this is one of those things of, like, somebody who has control over the property, like, casually having a conversation, like, casually talking in an interview about, like, oh, yeah, we want to do... It's like Tony Hawk talking about Tony Hawk games when he probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Okay. But last time Tony Hawk did that, We got Tony Hawk 3 and 4 remake.
Yes, that's the thing is like I do think that this game's gonna happen. I do wonder though, like who's your partner? Is it going to be the studio that did the last Friday the 13th game?
Ilphonic.
Yes. Is it gonna be Ilphonic, like another 4v1 situation, asymmetrical multiplayer kind of thing, or is it gonna be a new idea?
Looking at this, I get the vibe that it's a sequel, like movie, like story, more
like
story-based
sequel.
stuff. Yeah. Which,
Interesting. Which do people want that? I guess depends on the form.
I mean, there hasn't been a movie in 16 years.
But
when you're in a room of Friday the 13th fans, the answer is yes. When you're here on Kind of Funny Games Daily, I'm not sure the answer is yes.
Yeah, because that like now you're talking about a movie tie-in, which nobody wants.
Yeah, but if it's like a movie sequel, like Ghostbusters 3, Greg talks about that with a lot of love.
But like, Ghostbusters 3, was that like the original? Like the whole point of the game was to be a sequel to the movie.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking that they're making a movie and then they're gonna base a game off. of that movie.
I don't think they're making a movie.
No, they said both.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah. I can tell you that a new sequel movie and a new sequel game are at the top of our list. And then he goes on to say, I can tell you that we're finally in a position to deliver on that. While we're not officially announcing with our partners today, both are coming.
I don't know. But what I will say is last year, it must have been last year, they released that, I forgot who it was, but they put out those old school 2D side scrollers, the Halloween and Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
What's funny is I was thinking the same thing.
And like, I'd like just to do something like that. It could be a video game. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. There could be story elements there, but those were delights.
Yeah.
We have Terminator 2D No Fate coming out later this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think on Halloween. I'm stoked as hell for that. Like, I like the idea of doing video game movie adaptations, but like in old school styles. Like,
what was the Mummy Demastered? Was that a thing?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And that was excellent.
I love those.
That was way forward, I think. But yeah, awesome stuff.
Yeah, if it's something like that, I think that'd be cool. I just worry that it's going to be some fucking like, super under budget. Like, hey, we got a movie coming out. We know that people like Friday the 13th video games because the last couple have been kind of cool. Or last one was kind of cool, right? Like, let's make another video game, but make it shit this time. Like, that's my worry. I think best case scenario is, you're able to partner with an Ilphonic or an Ilphonic type of studio to make another asymmetric multiplayer. Because people, I'll dare to say that has a cult audience. Like a very strong cult audience. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe it's just Greg being very loud, but
Maybe
he's so
Greg being very
loud in close proximity to us.
But like you look at Dead by Daylight. And
yeah,
like
no,
how
for sure.
popular
There's
that shit is.
definitely an audience for that. I'm going off on Greg today. It feels good.
Listen, you deserve it.
I fucking do.
After that ad last week.
Story number 5. Maybe I've directed my last game, says Dead Space creator Glen Schofield. Says a new AAA game feels a long ways away. This goes from Jordan Middler VGC. It's horrible when Greg looks at you from over there because he's backlit from the other room.
Yeah, no.
And it's just so ominous. He's holding something. I imagine it's his Animal Crossing cup.
What we need is like a
but
red
it's
light bulb.
silhouetted.
We need to replace that light bulb with a red light bulb. That way, like, it's way more ominous.
To really.
Central.
Oh, yeah, they can see it. They can see it there. Oh, man. Dead Space creator and Callisto Protocol director Glen Schofield has said that he may have directed his last game as he struggles to fund his next project. Schofield, who founded Striking Distance in 2019 to create a new game in the PUBG universe, which evolved over time into the Callisto Protocol, has suggested he may be done directing games due to the difficulty in finding financial backing. Games industry, it's tough out there. He wrote on LinkedIn, explaining that an idea he had been working on with his daughter, herself a developer with 8 years experience, wasn't being picked up. Over the past 8 months, I've been quietly working with my daughter, Nicole, on a new game idea. She came to me with it, and I immediately loved the idea, something I hadn't seen before. We've been calling it a new subgenre of horror, not just horror, but something more. However, he explained, we pulled the budget down to $17 million, built a prototype with a small, talented crew, and started taking meetings. People loved the concept. We got a lot of second and third meetings, but early feedback was get it to 10 million. Lately, that number's dropped to 2 to 5 million. So last month, we decided to walk away. Some ideas are better left untouched than done cheap. We had a team of 6 here in the States and a full crew in the UK. Now everyone's looking for work. They're all talented folks. If you're hiring, let me know. Schofield concludes by saying he thinks AAA development feels like it's a long ways away for him and that he'll go back to making art.
Damn, this makes me sad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is tough. I laughed earlier at the quote, games industry is tough out there. Schofield wrote on LinkedIn. I don't want people to get it twisted. I only laugh because like it almost feels like the understatement of the century, right? And like that's one of those things where I'm on LinkedIn from time to time just seeing what people are saying and like I feel like so many of like the posts that I see there are that in like an expanded form of like, man, looking for a job out here. Shit is tough. They don't say shit is tough on LinkedIn because it's more professional than that. But I digress. This makes me sad because like I want to say, hey, why not just make a smaller budget thing, right? But it seems like him and his daughter very much have this vision for like this AAA thing, and like the idea just won't get done the proper way if it's not AAA, which I totally understand. Like, that's super valid, and also your Glen Schofield.
That story coming after Callisto Protocol, which I also think is a thing of we can do AAA on a smaller budget, and then the reception showed they can't.
Yeah,
and I feel like this is him being like, well, we can't do that again on an even smaller budget. It needs to be what we scoped out here. And I respect the hell out of that, especially because like him putting the numbers out like this, even very cool to see.
I love that.
And like you hear 17 million and it's hard to even have frame of reference for that. But to have that 17 be slashed to 10 and then slashed to 2 to 5, that really tells a story of like, hey, this isn't worth doing this way because it's not going to hit the way that we want it to, let alone it needs to at this point.
Yeah. And I totally understand Glenn being like, also being like, hey, I did Callisto, I did Dead Space, like AAA is where my passions / where my skills lie. Like I want to make something on this level, and to be met with like just not being able to find the budget for it and like not wanting to scale down to that level, like again, totally get. But I would like to see more Glen Schofield things. Like I think again, I don't want to speak to other people's like passions or what they want to do. Do what you want to do. But I'll totally be down to see like, what can Glen Schofield do for $2 to $5 million, right? Like, I think he has enough of a cult audience that is there for him that would like show up to the Glen Schofield like indie title. But also, I understand if that's not what you want to do, that's not what you want to do, kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so damn tough. One of my good friends' husbands was in the games industry for a while, got laid off. It's been a year. They've been trying to get back into places. And then just this weekend, they told me that he is moving to Virginia and getting a job at a bank.
Yeah.
And he's incredibly bummed out.
Damn.
He's just like, this is not how I ever thought my life was going to go at this point after everything that I've accomplished in games. And like, you look at my resume and it's like, I worked on bangers. I did real shit. And now I have to go somewhere I don't want to go, doing something I don't want to do. And it's like, oh, damn, man.
That shit sucks, man.
It really, really sucks. There's no good segue there. Let's just get to Wii News.
Of course, you can go to our last story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
It's Wii News, baby. From Noble, via the PS blog, new details on PlayStation's upcoming Fight Stick Flex Strike. Is that what they're calling it?
Flex Strike was the name that was announced today, yeah. I don't like it.
Why would they do that?
I don't like it. Flex Strike.
Compatible with PS5 or PC, wired and wirelessly usable, mechanical switch buttons, and toolless swappable restrictor gates, 2026.
Yeah. There's a video here.
Also, I don't know if we talked about this last week. I don't remember when the news dropped, but the Marvel PlayStation fighting game playable at EVO.
Yeah, which is really exciting.
Super sick.
That I expected. Like,
yeah, that feels more like that's marketing.
Yeah, no, that's
in the
good.
most perfect way.
And also when you think about like fighting game rollouts, like oftentimes, to give an example, right? The Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, I did my preview for that like March 2024, right? So like, and 2XKO, has had playable versions for like the last year or so, right? Like we're getting our hands on these games at least a year before, and so yeah, I think for this game coming out in 2026. This makes total sense that, oh shit, we got to start getting this in front of people. We got to start, really getting the Evo audience excited, getting player feedback to see what we can tweak, what we can figure out. Really excited to see what people say about Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. And also, I'm excited to see what people say about this, right? Like, I'm not really a fight stick person, even though I love playing fighting games, but I mean, obviously the fighting game audience fucking loves fight sticks. And PlayStation, them now owning Evo, them now making a big push. You've seen Tekken reveal it at State of Plays. You've seen Street Fighter 6 revealed at a State of Play. You've now seen them reveal Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, right? Like, PlayStation fucks with fighting games heavy. I don't know what executive they got over there that really is into this shit, but they lean into this community really strongly, and that gives me faith that like this fight stick is going to be quality as far as like how it feels to use and all that stuff. So let's fucking go.
Yeah, very, really exciting stuff. Toxic Crusaders launches on December 4th, Jay-Z's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Jay-Z.
Happy birthday, Jay-Z, on December 4th.
You're gonna get to play Toxic Crusaders.
I'm sure you're stoked about that. That's it for Wii News.
If Jay-Z put out a song called Toxic Crusaders, what 3 other artists are going to be featured on it?
Fuck, dude. That is Lil Wayne. Oh, yeah, well, Toxic Crusaders,
Toxic
Kanye.
Crusade. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Let's just end there. Let's end there.
That's good. You know, yeah, that's the answer. That's the answer.
It's just Kanye 3 times.
That's goddamn.
What super chats do we got here? Kuma Bomb says Platinum Games hasn't been the same since Hideki Kamiya left. The PG that we know and love essentially became Clover Studio at Capcom. That's also a good point. A lot of the actual core talents, like the individuals, have moved around. So Platinum isn't the same Platinum, but that's true for so many game studios at this point. That is, it's interesting where you look at even like Retro that's about to put out Metroid Prime 4. They're not the Retro that put out Metroid Prime. And they're not even the Retro that put out Tropical Freeze, right? Like there is something about the DNA of a studio that permeates in certain ways and doesn't in others, that of course the individuals do very, very, very much matter. But we're talking about people that were at the studio for so long and so influential on the titles that I still think that the heart and spirit of those decisions are still at Platinum, for better and worse.
Yeah. And I think people move on, like you mentioned, and I think there is something to be said about like a lot of the big Platinum games have big names attached. Like Nier Automata had Yoko Taro, and Yoko Taro is a very revered name, and also is a very creative and weird mind, which really helps shape the kind of game that is. Hideki Kamiya, right, like has had hands in like so many of the big titles there. Bayonetta 3, I don't believe Hideki worked on Bayonetta 3, right? Like. And I don't know if those names are still there that made that game what it was, but people come and go. You would hope that some of those names that stay are still the ones that like get that drip down knowledge that are able to continue to make great stuff, like people before them.
Yeah. Grammon112 says your Xbox is a PlayStation.
Oh, I think that's based off of did you see the news this weekend?
Oh, why are we not talking about that?
I didn't see it as like big news.
How so?
That they have a position for like
a position for strategy that name drops Nintendo and Xbox?
I mean, we can talk about it here.
I mean, it's a little late for that now, but like,
I mean, I'm down to talk about it.
I mean, I know it's kind of a annoying conversation because it's like it feels like we're having the same thing every goddamn day, but like this coming from PlayStation officially, that is absolutely news.
See, this was one of those ones where it's so non-news to me that like I couldn't even find articles about it. Like the articles that I found were like from like the most like, oh man, nobody.
Well, it also came out on the weekend, right?
Yeah, but I think
that is it. I mean,
nobody's writing about it.
But why not?
I think because it's one of those things. I think for me, I've learned over time that job listings are just not a great news source. But then also my read on it is that like, all right, well, PlayStation's put out fucking MLB and they're putting out Helldivers on Xbox and they put out Horizon on Nintendo. Like,
but now they're considering hiring somebody to manage that portfolio and take it further. I think that's the news. Like, will it happen? How it happened? That's the discussion. Yeah. But also, I do get that we've had that discussion.
It's also discussion that we have all
times. But oh man, yeah, that definitely would be story number one in my heart. Sony is suing Tencent for ripping off Horizon Zero Dawn. This comes from Albercorn 7996.
Let's look this up.
Interesting. And then Seaberry says bump in the Sony suing Tencent story because that Steam page is wildly similar. But if it's co-op, I'm rooting for Tencent if Sony isn't making that MMO.
I assume this is breaking news, but like I'm finding the articles from last year about how the new Tencent game accused of ripping off Sony's Horizon series. And I remember loosely this happening. Like I remember seeing the posts of like the key art and being like, "Oh, that's Horizon," and then kind of moving on. And I'm trying to find the name of it. I'm in an IGN article from 2024. A new game from Tencent has been accused of ripping off Sony's Horizon series. Light of Motiron is the name of the game.
Light of Motiron. Interesting.
Light of Motiron. I'll send the name. Actually, I'll see if I can look up a trailer or something and then send it to Assets.
Shadow Trickster in the chat dropped a link to the Steam page.
Oh, everybody's saying it's on Reuters. Shadow Trickster. Okay. Here, I'm going to drop... Damn, this is a 7-minute trailer. I'm going to drop this trailer in Assets for Kev to pull up, and then I'm going to go to Reuters. See what's up.
Paul Dickman says, birthday tax turned 44 today. Happy birthday. Thank you for the last 10 years and beyond. Listen to a Bone Thugs and Harmony song from me today, and Sony bring back Heavenly Sword. Hell yeah,
Nice.
we'll do. All right. Looking at this, it's, I guess you could say it looks a little Horizon-y, but not fully. The colors look a little bit different.
Here we go.
Okay, we're getting some Terminator vibes.
Sony
We'll
sues
see. Okay, the plants are
Tencent for allegedly
coming.
ripping off Horizon video games. This is from Blake Britton.
Can you skip forward, Kev? I want the kind of like a, okay, yeah, getting a lot more Horizon here. Yep, it's Horizon.
Sony
Yeah, we got there,
Interactive
everyone.
has sued Tencent for copyright and trademark infringement in California federal court, accusing the Chinese tech conglomerate of ripping off
Shut
popular
the fuck up.
Horizon
This is some
series
Power World shit.
of adventure video games.
Do you see this, Bless?
Yeah, I remember. Oh my god, what do you mean? Nah, man, it's just it's they just got tech armor. That's a popular thing in sci-fi. Beasts that are machines.
Oh my god,
Nah,
beast machines.
You can't have a you can't just own a be. It's moving like one of them Horizon
It
things.
is very much so.
But like machines move like that. Machines move like that.
We'll see where this goes. If it develops, we'll talk about it tomorrow. The Real Garage says, for context, they had a 20-minute demo of Hollow Knight when it was first shown 5 to 6 years ago that influencers got to play. So while it's exciting, it may not be new. That's true, but still, it being in the public light in 2025, I think means a lot more than back then because lots have changed since then, and the official delays and everything like that.
Listen, I didn't see one bow and arrow.
And then
I also haven't watched the full 7-minute trailer.
Cupsy says, yeah, you're right. We need that bow and arrow. Cupsy says, with rumor of a Nintendo Direct, I've been hoping to see you guys get Roger's bass on sometime. Nintendo Direct predictions could be a great crossover. Dude, I freaking love Roger. He is one of my favorite creators out there, one of my favorite Nintendo creators specifically. For the last 10 years, anytime something major drops, I always go and check out his reaction or check out his thoughts on it. Like, pure positivity, such a great dude. We got to get him on something. I would love to get him on a predictions at some point. I don't know if it's going to make sense time-wise for this Nintendo Direct, but I love that idea. You're right. We got to get Roger on.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of want to play this Horizon ripoff.
Hey, sometimes ripoffs
This shit kind of looks
cool. Look, here's the thing.
looks
Can I put
kinda
you
good.
on, Bless?
Put me on.
I think now
Is this another Nico Dorico
I'm going to talk
situation?
about Nico Dorico.
God damn it.
I'm going to talk about Nico Dorico. Sometimes when you rip off
Christ.
something you love, it's okay. It's okay. Nico Dorico, the Magical World Director's Cut is in stores now, everybody. I don't get paid for it, but I wish that I did. But you can get paid in fantastic gaming experiences by playing Nico Dorico, the Magical World. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We're about to do Gamescast. We're about to do KFP. We're about to do Mike's little AMA playing an old game. Great stuff. Great times for everybody involved. Oh, wait. Yes, that's all we're doing today. Until next time, I love you all. Goodbye.